All right. The next one we're going to cover is a very difficult one. Very difficult one. Because at one time, for children that are being maltreated or living in a malignant environment, this one had survival value back then, but they carry it forward. All right. And that's the cognitive distortion of mind reading. Now, very often, children that are being maltreated look at and pay attention, not necessarily to words, but they pay attention to the facial expression, tone of voice. They're doing everything they can to figure out if they're in danger or not. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes they might look at it and go, I can tell from mom's voice that she's getting really pissed off. And when she does, things get out of control. So I'm going to get the hell out of here. Right? Sometimes it works. Other times it doesn't. Mind reading facial expressions, mind reading tone of voice, all those things kept them a little bit safer. Not totally safe, but safer. And we all do a certain percentage of mind reading because life is extraordinarily complex and trying to read other human beings is very difficult. And many people will begin mind reading as a way to try and keep themselves safe. Now here's what happens with mind reading. Let me give you an example. The reason that mind reading is so difficult in a relationship is because it's hard to deny. What can you say? Somebody says to you, I know what you're really thinking. I know what you're thinking about this. I always know what you're thinking. And it's like, no, you don't know what I'm thinking. Yes, I do. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's an endless battle. And much of the time, it's not going to be accurate. How do you know if somebody is, holding back a fart or if they're angry with you? The expression on their face may be the same. Oh, and you with mind reading, you jump to the conclusion that it's about you. And so mind reading is a very, very difficult one. And I would ask you to be real cautious about it. Mind reading usually begins with something like this. Not exactly, but something like this. He probably thinks that I'm. And you know you're mind reading. That's the clue. That's kind of a way you can kind of catch yourself with it. They probably think that I'm, or somebody cut you off in traffic. They probably think they own the whole road. I mean, so we don't know what other people are thinking, and we need to be assertive enough to check it out. Or something as simple as, I'm getting a sense that you're angry with me. No, I'm not angry with you at all. Oh, okay. Well, what was going on? Well, I just stubbed my toe and it pisses me off. Oh, well, I thought you were angry with me. So that mind reading can take all kinds of twists and turns. And when I've worked with people that are in relationships with a spouse that does that, it's maddening for them. I remember this one guy telling me, I asked my wife what time it was, and she said, I'm working. And I said, well, what? And she said, I know what you're really thinking. You're thinking that I'm not doing my fair share. He wasn't thinking anything like that. But when he denied it, she just came back with, I know what you're thinking. And in a real snarky way. So remember this, whenever you hear your thoughts going, they're probably thinking, or he's thinking, or she's thinking, be really careful about that, because mind reading was okay for a little kid in a dangerous environment. But in adulthood, it doesn't work very well, and it can be especially damaging in your relationships. So that's mind reading. Give it some thought.